Physical Diversity by Lindsay Lloyd for ETOP 583, Perspectives on Diversity in Education. What is physical diversity? You will have a diverse mix of physical abilities in your classroom. Today we will be focusing on individuals with physical disabilities. One definition of a physical disability is one that affects the person's mobility and/or dexterity. A student with a physical disability might also have another disability as well. Political influences. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, provides education services for individuals up to age 21. To be eligible for services, a person must fall under at least one of the following 13 categories: autism, deaf-blindness, deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impairment, specific learning disability, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, or visual impairment including blindness. Disability is a natural part of the human experience and in no way diminishes the right of individuals to participate in or contribute to society. Improving educational results for children with disabilities is an essential element of our national policy of ensuring equality of opportunity, full participation, independent living, and economic self-sufficiency for individuals with disabilities. The purpose of IDEA. All children receive a free, appropriate public education that meets their needs and prepares them for adulthood. Protect the rights of children with disabilities and their families. Help states and agencies provide education for children with disabilities. Help states implement early intervention services. Make sure families and teachers have the resources and support they need. Continually assess the effectiveness of the education they are receiving. Cultural influences. From Finding Nemo and Soul Surfer to Wonder and the Secret Garden, there are a variety of movies that contain characters with physical disabilities. Some portrayals are positive, and some not so much. In today's culture, there is a big push for the representation of all types of people in the media. In 2015, just 2.4% of characters in the top 100 movies who spoke or had actual names had disabilities. That's a significant gap between fiction and reality, since the Census Bureau has found in 2010 that 56.7 million people, or 18.7% of Americans, have disabilities. Representation plays a large role in who we are and how we connect with others. Representation matters because, 1, everyone should have characters or images they can relate to. Relating to characters helps children understand themselves and relate to others. 2, it helps us to embrace our culture. Seeing people like ourselves in the media helps us embrace who we are. 3, there are stories that are missing. When you finally see someone who looks like you or has your same background, you feel seen and heard. 4, it's realistic. The world is a very diverse place and characters should reflect that. 5, and finally, everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes. Societal influences. Many people in today's society struggle with how to communicate with a person who has a physical disability. They don't want to create an awkward situation, but oftentimes they end up doing just that. In an article about how society views people with disabilities, Dawn Braithwaite writes, "Disability becomes a handicap, then, for persons with disabilities when they interact with able-bodied persons and experience discomfort when communicating. This feeling blocks the normal development of a relationship between them. It is easier to avoid situations where we might have to talk with a disabled person rather than face discomfort and uncertainty. Familial and community influence. Parents of children with physical disabilities need to be advocates for their children. They know their child the best out of all parties involved, so their input is priceless. Sometimes a child might struggle with something at home that teachers don't see at school or don't realize is a struggle. Parental involvement is an important factor in providing the best education for a child. Parents who struggle with caring for their child with a disability can receive services under IDEA in an Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP. The following services are available, among others: screening and assessment, psychological assessment and intervention, occupational and physical therapy, speech, language, and audiology, family involvement, training and home visits, specialized instruction for parents and the target student, case management, and health services that may be needed to allow the student to benefit from the intervention service. Teachers and members of the community also influence children with physical disabilities. As educators, it is our job to show students that being different is okay. In fact, it's a good thing to be different than other people. The classroom community is a primary source of students' perceptions of acceptance. Teachers' attitudes need to celebrate the diversity of students and at the same time recognize that students are more alike than they are different. If students know how to respectfully care for others at a young age, it won't be a big issue later on. Parkway West Middle School has two wonderful opportunities for students to help and care for people with disabilities. One option for a foreign language class is American Sign Language. How neat is that? Instead of learning Spanish, French, Latin, or German, students can learn ASL and communicate with a whole section of our community that normally goes unnoticed. The second wonderful opportunity West Middle offers is the PE Mentor Program. According to the course guide, this program will, quote, give students the opportunity to improve their skills in mentoring others as they serve as assistants for students with physical and developmental disabilities who are enrolled in physical education. Students will take on the role of buddies to provide leadership in a variety of physical fitness games and activities. I tried to provide a variety of books in my classroom that celebrate all types of diversity. Here are some of the books I keep in my classroom for upper elementary students: Rules, Wonder, Al Capone Does My Shirts, and Out of My Mind. Adaptations. There are many ways teachers can accommodate students with physical disabilities. Many are easy to do but make a world of difference for the students. For example, if a student has low vision or trouble focusing their eyes on small print, teachers can simply enlarge their worksheets in the copy machine. A student who struggles with fine motor skills due to a disability with their hand would benefit from oral tests instead of written essays. A student with hearing loss would benefit from the teacher using a microphone when instructing the class. Thank you for watching, and please see my references for more information.